Hello everybody, Zach here. Welcome back to another video. Again, direct to you. Don't really like having to rant about this stuff, and I don't intend to rant this time. I do intend to talk about it. I also want to tell you next week, regular gameplay as well as live streams will resume. I really apologize for saying it numerous times in various forms. Just hit a creative hurdle, as well as with the news that's been around recently. It's been kind of difficult to want to create stuff, but regular gameplay footage and live streams will resume next week. So on to what I really want to talk about this time, and this is just it would just make sense with what's going on, and I didn't really touch on it in the in the other two videos that I talked about the OpenIV situation as well as GTA 5 modding and all that stuff. So I want to touch on it here. And this is the things that would just make sense next to happen in this process. So we saw OpenIV get shut down. We saw two hacking tools basically get shut down as well. And that being like menu multiplayer, which wasn't really, legit. I don't think it was the one that was mainly used. And then another, Force Hacks, was shut down. And Take-Two basically said, donate all that money to charity because you've made a bunch of money off of it. And I think it's just also too to prevent them from, making money off of it. Or Take-Two wants, I don't know if they asked for proof or what have you, but I only assume that they wanted them to donate the money to charity, so they wouldn't be basically making money off of them, because Take-Two could probably go after them more for the monetary value of all that stuff. But that's aside from OpenIV, because again, Open4 didn't, at least in my opinion, it wasn't used for multiplayer mods. It was, it prevents you from going on a multiplayer. And that's what, there's still a lot of people, I saw it in the comments of both my videos, people were pissed at saying, oh, modders have ruined GTA Online, modders have ruined this and mod. Well, this is the thing. There are people that legitimately modded online and paid for those like Force Hacks and what have you. But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that mod single player, and you should have no problem with that. If they don't affect your experience, which people that go on the PC and they mod single player, they don't affect your experience, you should have no problem with them. So if you're a console player, or even if you're a GTA Online and you're playing on the PC, these are people that don't affect your actual gameplay at all. The people that actually use Open4 to modify their game, add in things in single player, they don't affect your game at all. So that's what's kind of annoying to see people that are like, I'm so happy that Take-Two and Rockstar did this and they're cracking down on it. I'm happy that Take-Two went after the other two tools, basically, because those other two tools are legitimate issues with GTA Online and allow for hacking in GTA Online, and griefing and all that stuff. So I'm glad that they shut those down. This is the only logical next step, though. So they did those things. I have a feeling we're going to see something in the next couple months that's very akin to what Bethesda's doing, which is their creator studio, I think it's called. I have a feeling we're going to get we're going to have to pay for mods. The reason that it would just make sense in this kind of situation, Steam tried to do it. They're not super successful, but Bethesda did it, and then they kind of backed off on it, or at least, to a certain extent. I can imagine, I don't know if it'll happen with GTA 5. I honestly don't. I think that they're going to set up the first basis for it, and it might come to GTA 5 within the next year. I think we're going to have to pay for mods. I think they're going to create a marketplace that is for mods and may work its way over to the console. And some people would go, well, that doesn't make sense. They just shut down Open4's mod support, for the PC and everything. But if they actually make it a marketplace, right, like Bethesda is, it would only make sense. And then they could also push it to the consoles, and they could, to a certain extent, verify that they are not system crashing mods and all that stuff. Now, will the mods be as various as they currently are? No, but I have a feeling that they want to make money. That's the bottom line. They want to make money, and if they're able to get a cut, if they're able to sell you a car, again, this is the other thing with licensing, though. A lot of those things become you know, less of a gray area, more legal standards. So we might not have real cars and all that stuff. So it's like there's a whole portion of the modding community gone, basically. I mean, there already is, don't get me wrong, with Open 4 being shut down the way it is, there's already that single player modding community, you know, PC modding community gone. But then you have, when it comes into licensing things or other modifications, you have even more of an issue. But like I said, this would only make sense. Boogie2988 talked about it, as well as on the Jimquisition, he talked about it. This would only be the only logical next step for Take-Two to basically build in with Rockstar. Obviously, Rockstar would have to go about doing this too, so it would be an undertaking. You know, that's why I said it might happen in the next 6 months to a year. But I just have no doubt in this, and I'm not saying I usually call these things, but it makes sense. It makes sense from a business standpoint. It would make sense to their investors if Take-Two said, "Good, you know, they're doing this thing. They're shutting down Open 4." They also say that we're going to prevent griefing for online. I don't know that mods would work online. I don't know how they would handle that. I think they wouldn't. I just think that online would still maintain the same thing that it does, and then in single player, they would also have very strict control over it, which would be better for the community as a whole. And whenever community as a whole, I guess the entire GTA community, but it's still an unfortunate turn for the PC single player community that mods their games. But like I said, it would only make sense for Take-Two to be doing what they are now, and basically telling Rockstar, and this is what I have a feeling they're doing right now. They're like telling Rockstar, we need to make it, we need to monetize this. Take-Two's getting to that point where they just want to monetize the hell out of everything. It makes sense. You know, games are becoming more of a service now. Is it right? No. Or, you know, to us, do we like it? No, because we want to be able to buy a game and do what we want with it. That's just it. That's what we want as a consumer, and that's what we've come to expect from them. You know, other companies like EA and some other stuff, and you know, other publishers, we know this is just how they act. But like, we know Rockstar supports modding, at least in the, you know, the single player aspect. So again, I didn't want to rant this time. I want to talk more specifically about one of the key parts of this and what I believe will happen next. And like I said, that's what I believe will happen next. It only makes sense. It only makes sense for what has happened so far, for Take-Two to start to monetize this and potentially more games. You know, the good side is potentially that consoles can get modifications. Who knows if that'll work on PS4? PS4, you know, Sony is kind of against that because it requires them giving up a certain amount of code and what have you. Right, like Sony right now with cross-platform compatibility, other than like Rocket League, they beat around the bush a lot. But we'll have to see. You know, I want companies to be able to make money, but I also want the consumer end of things to be happy. You know, a lot of Rockstar games now on Steam have their reviews have come down, and I know that probably won't affect their bottom line. It won't affect Take-Two's bottom line more than likely, but I know Rockstar cares about it. Rockstar cares about, to a certain extent, they care about how people are reviewing their game. Will it prevent people from buying future titles? Probably not. You know, I know I'm going to buy Red Dead Redemption 2. I just know I am. I know I am right now. And that's exactly, I guess you could say that's one of the problems. I will still buy it, I guess, to support Rockstar, but in turn, I'm supporting Take-Two at the same time. And they're getting, you know, a large majority of my money still. So, is this a perfect situation? No. But we're going to keep watching it. We're going to keep seeing what happens. You know, there's over, I think, 60,000 signatures on that petition. Do I know if that petition is going to do anything to save OpenIV? Save Open 4? I keep calling it OpenIV. I'm sorry. Is that petition going to do anything? I don't know. I hope. I don't know that I've seen those change that those petitions do much, but I hope Rockstar just sees that number, and I hope they see the amount of mentions and the amount of people commenting and the amount of people using the review system on Steam kind of in the wrong way, but you know, to communicate to Rockstar that this is a huge issue. And I know Rockstar doesn't want to piss off Take-Two though, at the same time. it's a hard situation. I talked about it in the last 2 videos that I don't understand all the moving parts, but I can just guess what's going to happen next, and we'll just see how well it goes, basically, because we could have a decent, monetization mod platform, and modders could then make money off other things, even more so. But then the licensing things and a couple other moving parts are just too difficult to know where they're gonna go. And I could be completely wrong, right? But it just makes sense for Take-Two to do this. However unfortunate it is for us, and that includes myself too. I have a horse in the game. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I hope that the community, even though it's still kind of on fire right now and still upset, I hope that we move on to bigger and better days, and I hope that Rockstar can push themselves to do something about this. But who knows, if the pressure's on there from Take-Two to monetize mods, this is what we got to do and what we got to deal with. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Follow me on social media if you want updates about when I'm going to be live and when new videos are coming out and what have you, because I've been super inconsistent lately. I've been that way for a while, right? But I hope you guys tune into a live stream, and maybe we'll play some GTA modded, right? But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.